Hi, this is Cindy Spencer again, and I'm going to do a continuation of yesterday with part 2 of my testimony of being healed of depression and learning to hear God's voice. And if you remember, I said that the Lord told me not to ask anybody any questions, but to come straight to Him and come to Him with all my questions and not even go to friends. And some of you may be wondering, well, that seems kind of weird, because all our lives we're so used to going to our friends and family with all our questions and anything that we have concerns on. And just some biblical examples is Jesus, when He healed people. For example, in Mark chapter 5, there's 2 examples where He healed one person and told him to go back to his family and his town and go tell everybody what happened and how he got healed. And another person in the same chapter, Mark 5, He told him not to tell anybody after He healed his daughter. So, this man's daughter. So, there's 2 examples right there of how sometimes Jesus would tell the person to not share the healing, and sometimes He did. And also, setting away 3 years of my life and spending an enormous amount of time with God, I had so much fun with Him, and He taught me so much, not just how to hear His voice, but to learn who He was and read His Word and read the whole Bible. And I spent a whole bunch of time in the Bible and getting to know the Bible in a way that I never have in my whole Christian walk over the last 29 years. And just, you can't not get to know Him after you read His Word and the Bible. And I learned so much through that. And if you read the first chapter in Galatians, it talks about how Paul, after he got remarkably saved with Jesus, he went away for 3 years and learned straight from the Lord everything that the Lord wanted him to know. And then he went off after the 3 years, and he came back to Jerusalem, and he went and he started speaking to Gentiles, and that was his call. That was his ministry that the Lord had given him, to minister to the Gentiles. But you'll read how he said the Lord taught him everything that He wanted him to know. And John the Baptist spent years and years in the wilderness alone before he went off and did his ministry. And there's many others that were alone before, with the Lord. And so I know that there's many, many other people out there today that have had alone time with the Lord in such a way that they were away from, the mainstream and kind of just set aside. And I felt like I was under His wing. There's a verse in the New Testament that talks about how Jesus wanted to tuck His people under His wing, just like a mother hen, and protect them and guard them. And that's kind of how I felt. I felt like I was under His wing, and I was in the dark as to what was going on, the whole big picture of what He was doing. He would give me little things, like all of a sudden I realized He was doing this to help me hear His voice. But I knew He was protecting me, and I knew that it seemed like I was in a cave, or, I couldn't see the whole big picture, but I knew I was safe, and I knew He was doing a work in me and helping me to be set free and healed. And it was like I could, just like a baby chick, imagine a baby chick under its mama's wing, and how close it is to the heart, to the heartbeat of its mama, and how peaceful that was and relaxing. And that's exactly what it was like for me. Even though I was in the darkest to, the whole big picture, and, I wasn't allowed to talk about all the marvelous things that he was doing, and just, for me, it was absolutely phenomenal. But I could feel his heartbeat. I could feel his love for me and his protection and his training me up, just like a mama hen, trains up her chicks and teaches them what they need to know and the ways they need to know and basics of life. And I felt like, the Lord, he had pretty much a clean slate to work with. And what I mean by that is I wasn't pre-programmed. I didn't have a lot of training and teaching and Bible teaching in myself so that he could teach me everything that he wanted me to know in the way that he wanted to do it, and to show me that he is a fun God and a good God, and he wants to pursue us, and he's been pursuing us since creation. And he's knocking on all our doors, and he's just saying, I want to be with you, I want to play, I want to spend time with you, I want to get to know you, I want you to get to know me and all that I have for you. And that word to know means to be intimately and to have experience with the person, to experientially know the person by experience, to know them with a deep, deep love that is so close and so intimate that you know their thoughts and their hearts and their feelings. And that's why I put on that Psalm 46 verse 10, because it says, be still and know that I am God. And when you're still and you're not striving and you're not anxious and you're not worried about things, and you can just know God, know who he is, know his peace. And it's just the most rewarding experience. And he is so loving, and he has just poured his love on me and totally healed me of so many things. And I feel so much more set free. And obviously we will be growing and learning things our whole life. So I'm not a done project yet, but I'm a work in progress. And I just am so excited by what he's done, and I feel so much better. That I encourage you guys, any of you that want that healing, want that depression to be gone, want to be set free from bondages or fears. And oh my gosh, there's a whole journey that he did with me on fear and getting rid of fears in my life. And for whatever reason, he's having me share these things that are, I'm a very private person. I've been a very shy person my whole life. And so the fact that he's asking me to do this and to share it with the world on YouTube is, outside of my understanding. But, he's doing a work. And he's doing a work in me by doing this. And there's areas that just in the last month since he's, gave me the heads up that this is what he wants me to do and to get prepared. And so that's what I've been doing. And he's already healed me of several things. And I'll probably be mentioning that in a couple other videos of other areas that he's healed me in. So I just want to encourage you that if there's areas that you want to be set free in and be healed in, to allow him to come into your heart and just say, Lord, help me. Jesus, help me. And let him do his thing, and just let the grace of God come over you and be blessed. And so we're signing off for now. Have a blessed night.